Len Vargas has been a part of our football program here at Fruitport for as long as I've been here. When I was first hired to be the football coach, Len Vargas was the dad of a freshman football player who happens to be the head coach now at Fruitport. And Len was filming his son's game. We pulled Greg up onto the varsity, and I didn't have a film man, so I asked Lenny if he'd film for us, or at least if he'd just give us a copy of the game film so that the coaching staff could use it to break down.
Coach Wilson promised me dinner and a good paycheck, and so I jumped right on that, you know. But that was known to my wife as the hot dog night, because every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday it was a hot dog and a pop. So that was my supper for the next 26 years.
From there on, Len has filmed every single varsity football game in the last 25, 26 years.
In that time, I've missed one ball game, and that was because our daughter was playing tennis in a conference meet in Ludington, and of course Coach Wilson says that he knows I went to a Notre Dame game instead of.
Not only is Len Vargas himself just a huge part of the Fruitport program, his wife Marge has done a tremendous job for Fruitport, and the two of them make a great pair.
We're a Fruitport family, and we do a lot together, and we have really enjoyed being at Fruitport.
They're at every single game. Marge is running the concession stand and has since the very beginning.
So when I get done filming, I'm down there after I congratulate these coaches, you know, I get over to the concession stand and help clean up. So
he's one of those guys who, you know, sees a need and does what he needs to do.
One of my high points of my filming came when we went in 2001, we went to the state finals at Pontiac Silverdome. And of course we met one of the top teams in the area, or in the state, which was Farmington Hills Harrison, and we lost that ball game 28-6. But it was just quite an experience to be there at Pontiac Stadium and to film that game. Our quarterback and our tailbacks always did a beautiful job of faking. So every now and then I would lose that ball.
The kids would say, "We got a Lenny, we got a Lenny." Well, Len Vargas is very good with a camera, and it's difficult to fool him. But every once in a while, even Len would chase the wrong guy. He would follow the fakes. Somebody else would have the ball going down the field, and then the camera would sweep to find the athlete with the ball.
So I don't think I missed any touchdowns, but still that became the Lenny play, and
the kids would say, "Hey, we fooled Mr. Vargas. We got a Lenny." And it's not just, you know, his son being associated with this and then staying with us over the years and coming back with his son. Len has a genuine love of the game. Not only football, all games. He's an MHS AA umpire. You know, umpires, love him or hate him, you can't play the game without him. And all spring, every day, he's there helping to make sure kids have a chance to compete.
Even now I have some that I filmed way back, and like I said, when I started in '89, and I still see some of them kids, and of course a lot of them I don't recognize anymore, you know, and now they have their own children playing, and I'm filming them, so it's kind of like coming full circle.
Dad, I'd like to say thank you so much for your time. I'd like to say thank you so much for your dedication to our program, and I love you very much, and hope that you're up in the box and eye in the sky for many years to come.
I really enjoy it. I think my son, Greg, though, he thinks I'm getting a little bit old because he's got assigned a sidekick to me. His name is Ron Brown, good guy, and he kind of comes up and he'll carry my camera up there for me or whatever, you know, so they think it's time for me to retire, but I'm not ready to do that yet.
Go Grandpa! There you go, Len. Congratulations. It's your time to stand behind the microphone.
Everything you saw on that screen, that was supposed to be my speech. I think they took everything, just about everything here. But I do want to thank the Hall for inducting me into the Hall of Fame, and Mr. Ernie and all of our coaching staff here. Like I said, I've been with them since 1989, so I have filmed lots of ball games. And again, my wife has been with 4 years that she watched our son play. I was up above and she was on the bleachers watching. So after Greg had graduated, then the next 22 years, I stayed on the deck and she went into the concession stand. And of course, Greg was playing and came through the ranks and now became a coach. Our daughter Angela has always been there, and she lives out of town, but at least when we have our games, if she can make it, her and her children, her family come up to watch ball games. So I can say that we are a true blue Fruitport family. So I'd like to thank Coach Wilson, because he's the one that got me started in this. First game I did film from the bleachers, and Greg took that tape and went to the school, and I guess Coach Wilson saw it and the kids saw it, and next thing you know, I've had a job for the last 26 years under Coach Wilson, and the last 3 have been for my son. Okay, I had a few incidents that made recording fun, and that was a so-called Lenny play. And I would lose the ball once in a while, but I'd have to open that lens up and I'd catch him going into the end zone, so I did get the running back scoring anyway. But like I said, that became the Lenny play. Kids had a ball with that one. In 1997, we had a regional game up in Ogama Heights, playoff game, and it was kind of customary for me when I got done with the game, I'd call Coach Wilson and ask, well, how'd the tape turn out and everything, you know, and of course he says, Lenny, something happened. This tape is blank. so I did have a blank tape. And Coach was gracious enough to say, hey, don't worry about it, because we did take a good spanking that night, so he didn't want to see the film either. And you heard Coach Roop say a few words about me, but again, that's one person I didn't want to be in the box with. At the same time, I'm very close to him. He said a few words that weren't very nice, and thank goodness for our editing. Okay, highlights. Of course, every time we end the season, I feel sad. But if we're in the playoffs, that's the ultimate for me. It's going to those playoff games. And let's see, in 1991, I remember losing to a regional final, and we had to go overtime, and we lost that ball game. 92, we lost in the semis to Grand Rapids, Kettle Hills, and of course the highlight for me was being at the Pontiac Silverdome, filming those games, the game. Again, we dropped it, but still it was one of the best times that I've had as far as filming. I know in the Seaway Conference also broke up, and that was in the 97, 98 season. We did a lot of traveling, I logged a lot of miles, and I remember the first game, I walked up to the bus and Coach Wilson says, you can get on the bus, you know, ride with the team. But when I got there, you know, I went to get on the bus and here's all this ruckus and noise, and I said, no, I'm not getting on that bus. So I said, I'll follow the bus. So then after that, of course, it was customary to give the camera and the tape and everything to Coach Wilson after the game. And when I went over to the bus and I went to hand him the camera and all that, oh, that aroma. I said, I know I'll never ride the bus again. I'll never ride. So, you mentioned about the only game, I've done probably close to 800 games, because I've done middle school, I have done the 8th grade, 9th grade, JVs, and the varsities. And probably about 250 plus games, including playoffs, for the varsity. And I did miss one ball game. And that was the year, like I said, that Angela was playing a tennis match up in Ludington, and we were playing up at Manistee football team. Well, John Grossa, tennis coach, won over Coach Wilson that day. So that was my only game that I did miss as far as varsity. So I guess that's all I have for now, and I hope that Coach Vargas keeps me on his staff. So again, I would like to thank the committee and all the coaching staffs. And I did want to mention too that I know that we had a couple of coaches that passed on, and I will always remember them. Excuse me. Coach Rieger, Coach Prinkle, and Kessler. Great staff. And again, thank you.
Thanks, Lenny.